So Duncan, I see all of these goats over here, and you're known for working with your goats. Tell me a little bit about these guys, and do they all belong to you?
Yes, they all are Willow Grove Farm, which is our family farm. The white and blackish grayish ones, those are Alpines, and those specifically belong to my oldest sister, Casey. The light brown with white marking, those are called Toggenburgs, and those belong specifically to my middle sister, Kayleen. And all these guys that are like orangish brown with the black markings, those are called Oberhasleys, and that's my specific breed that I've raised.
Do you have a favorite of all of these guys here that you favor the most?
Yeah, actually this one right here, her name's Shannon, and she is my oldest doe. She's stuck around for a long time. She's kind of mild-mannered, but she gets her way. Mid-spring and into early summer, we have babies. So lots of them are bred in the fall. They have kids in the spring. And when they give birth, they then go into milk as well. So then the animals have to be milked twice a day, which takes about 45 minutes. You guys ready? You guys hungry? Here you go. And we also have to feed and hay and water. And so it's
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. They get very excited around feeding time. Like there's a common myth that goats will eat anything, but it's actually not true. Their hooves are like fingernails. They're dead cells, and they can't feel anything with it. It's just that way when they're walking, if they step on something, it doesn't really hurt them. So they're very curious, and when they want to figure out what something is, they put it in their mouth, because with their tongue, they can feel. And then they can figure out what it is.
So did you just sort of happen to fall into taking care of goats and raising goats because of your sisters?
Well, my mother actually grew up on a working dairy cattle farm, and so a cousin of hers raised goats, and she kind of got the idea. And so when my sisters were young and I was very, very little, they got their first goats, and so I was around them, and then a couple years later I decided I wanted to do the same thing. But it was really from the inspiration from my parents, because they always wanted the same thing for us that they grew up with.
But it sounds like you do an awful lot besides take care of goats. I read that you're a straight-A student.
Yeah.
You are a very well-honored soccer player.
Yes.
You dance. You are the Fair King last year. Let's talk a little bit about soccer first. Okay. Have you played since you were a young guy?
Yeah, I started playing as soon as I was big enough to kind of kick a ball and run around.
Number 2, Captain Dunchadhn Lyons.
And you were named to one of the all-county teams. How did that feel?
It was really awesome. It was really an honor, because especially this year, I was the team captain. We made it all the way to the state finals, which is the first time in history. We were division champs and region champs, first time in school history. It was really an honor.
And it sounds like you're going to probably have a pretty tough academic schedule.
So far I've gone into RPI, Dartmouth, and Stanford.
And you'd like to study?
Engineering.
Engineering. What kind of engineering?
That I'm not so sure about. There's a recent Princeton grad who's coined the term social justice engineering. And basically whatever kind of engineering career you have, you put your work to use for social justice, wow, to help people. And that's the kind of thing that I'm very interested in.
And you mentioned the dance. I know you have been taking Irish step dance since you were 5 years old.
Yeah.
I have never met an 18-year-old young man who can do Irish step dancing. How did you get interested?
Well, when we were young, my parents took us to the Lord of the Dance, the show, and we were just kind of blown away. And then when I got old enough, I'd seen my sisters do it, and I was like, whoa, they're having a lot of fun, so why don't I give it a shot? And I just loved it. And when I got to be older and I started telling people, look, I'm an Irish dancer, a lot of people were kind of like, that's kind of odd, but I don't know, it's just something I'd always done, and I loved it, so I didn't let what anyone else had to say affect me.
I have to ask you, with such a busy life, doing all the things that you do you have time to have fun?
Yeah, it's a little tough sometimes to find time, but at the same time, I have fun with everything that I'm involved in. I love the farm, I love service, I love dance, just everything. I even love school a lot of the time. So that is fun for me, and a lot of my friends feel the same way.
Do you ever feel like you are different than other kids your age? All the things that you do really aren't normal activities. They're very unique.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way all the time, not only in what I do, but also in the way I kind of see the world and the way I choose to do things. From a very young age, I've always been taught, if you want to get anything in life, you gotta work hard, and you really gotta set your mind to it and set your whole self to it. You always got to be doing something. You always got to be trying to make a difference, trying to better yourself, better your community. And so, yeah, I often feel very different, but in a good way, and I kind of like it.